Okay, Otaku Tour Guide back with another comic book cover battle. And in this matchup, we have Batman 400 versus Fantastic Four 275. Two great covers. This is going to be a tough battle, a tough choice. On one hand, you've got this great art by Bill Sienkiewicz. And on the other hand, you have another great cover of She-Hulk and this guy named Vance in the character, but he's basically a characterization of Stan the Man Lee. And so you have this great cover of She-Hulk and Stan Lee. And we'll get into both books, but let's start here with Batman number 400. So this is a key anniversary issue. It's the 400th issue, and there are a lot of artists. This is a really interesting issue because it starts out with a foreword or an introduction by Stephen King on sort of the significance of Batman. As you know, Stephen King almost wanted to get into comic book writing and almost got his start in comic books, but essentially what happened was, I think Marv Wolfman was late to responding to him about working at DC at the time, and Stephen King ended up having to write novels. He ended up, writing a novel and it getting submitted somewhere and winning a prize. And that, so basically, he could have gotten a job and then it would have killed his writing career. But luckily, he didn't get the job, and he ended up being a best-selling novelist instead. So it's a really interesting story. But Stephen King is a huge comic book fan. Again, wanted to get a start in comic book writing, which never happened. But who knows? Stephen King could have been a great comic book writer, but he probably would have been a starving writer at that. But anyway, Doug Mensch writes this story that's divvied up into various chapters, and they have a whole host of artists that contributed to this issue. And essentially the story is Ra's al Ghul gets, basically frees all of Gotham's prisoners from, Arkham or whatever the prison is, and everybody gets out. And so Batman's just running around trying to defeat all his, foes. And again, it's broken up into different chapters, and we're going to take a look at some of the art from this issue, which is really significant. There's a lot of great amazing art from this issue. I'm just going to share some of the panels. So this panel here, this is chapter 2, and as you can see, this is illustrated by the great George Perez. And wow, this is just amazing. Look at that Joker. Incredible art. And as you can see, there's a host of villains there, and it continues on. So yeah, George Perez, great, amazing George Perez art. All of you know I'm a big fan of George Perez, and I've just really been focusing this year on picking up his books, as many of his books as I can. And so yeah, great some great panels by George Perez here. Next we have Bill Sienkiewicz, and he draws these, and so it's a lot of just showcasing the different art styles of these wonderful artists. And you can see Batman here, a very sort of exaggerated dark style, works well with I think Batman. You know, had he done a long run of Batman, I'm sure it would have been a very popular series. But of course, this is the issue where you can see his version of Batman. He also did the cover on this one, so just amazing art right there. So Bill Sienkiewicz with panels for Batman. Wonderful, wonderful art. And next we have Art Adams, also a wonderful artist here. I think, yeah, I mean, if you grew up in so I was collecting comic books when Art Adams was just at the top of his game. You know how prolific of an artist he is. He's done so many covers, so many, with his art in Long Shot, and all the great Marvel covers that he did. It's interesting to see him work here on the Batman. Just an amazing rendition of Batman. There's some Joker there and Robin. Great art by Art Adams as well. And finally, we have these great pinups here at the end. This is art by Mike Grell. Just a great gargoyle shot Batman on a building there. There at the end. And of course, then a closing by Stephen King. So if you don't have this issue, I would really recommend going out and picking it up. It's got a lot of great artwork and a great Batman story to boot. Now we're going to go back and we're going to take a look at Fantastic Four 275. Now, with the popularity of She-Hulk, it's really interesting that I think it's really interesting that this issue doesn't get as much notice. I'm sure among collectors this is a popular item, because I don't see it at the comic shops all that often. And also I've seen them. When I do see them, they're priced out. They're usually $10 to $20 books. So I think it's a significant book, because this was again written and drawn by John Byrne on his incredible Fantastic Four run. This was published back in February 1995, so this was actually before the She-Hulk series. So this, if you love the Byrne run on the She-Hulk series, this actually precedes that, but it has that feel of that She-Hulk series. But essentially, yeah, she's trying to get this creep of a guy takes photos of her, and she's afraid that people will realize it's the She-Hulk, and her identity will be revealed. But there's a twist at the end. I'm not going to reveal what happens, but I want to focus on this guy. His name's Vance, and he takes these photos, and basically, she's trying to get the photos back, but he's like, nope, I don't have the photos. They're being published. And then she turns into She-Hulk and kind of scares him and exacts some revenge. But this character is a characterization of Stan Lee. And if you can as you can see from this dialogue, what? Ed Asner is gonna come and lean on me? Look, cutes, I've been Peter Polite up until now, but maybe it's time you learn the facts of life. And so, you know, that's obviously has tones of Stan, and you know, the cover there is definitely Stan Lee just being creepy. And so I thought this was just a fun cover. I am trying to pick up more copies of this particular cover. I love it so much. I'd like to get a really high grade copy and maybe a newsstand edition as well. So I'm always on the lookout for this when I visit shops. But again, they're just really hard to find. I think they're a fan favorite as well. So let me know what you think, which cover you think should move on. It's a hard choice. I love both of these books, but I'm gonna have to go with Batman number 400 as the winner. This book, I think, in terms of just Batman books, it's one you have to have in your collection just because of the great art that's featured in it, and you know, just a lot of great artists in this book, and that this cover by Sienkiewicz is just amazing. Really captures his style, and I've seen him, you know, Sienkiewicz has done a lot of art that's amazing, and done a lot of characters and whatnot, but I don't think I've seen much of him in terms of his Batman art, and so this is one of those rare exceptions where you see him, and it's just an amazing piece of comic book art. I'd love to get a version copy of this somewhere. I know I can get the photo file off the internet, but I'd like to get like a print of this as well for the collection if possible. Amazing piece of work. So that's our choice, the 400th issue of Batman, and great piece of art by Bill Sienkiewicz. All right, thank you for watching this battle. Again, vote for your choice in the comments below or on my Instagram channel. Looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are, and we'll see you in the next battle video. Thanks for watching.